Should be live. All right, so we are going to begin standing. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of energy right now. So we're just going to start with a twist. We're going to do a lot of twisting today. Twisting is good for cleansing, detoxing, releasing energy. So just allow your arms to be loose and free as you go side to side. Feel your hands touch in on the other side as you swing direction to direction. And then we're going to take our feet about hip distance apart, a little bend to your knees. We're going to swing our hands up and back. If you want, you can clasp your hands together. We're going to do a couple of, it has a couple of names. We're going to do elephant breath. So take your hands up like this. We're going to inhale and exhale, swing your hands between your legs. Allow your head to drop down. So do that together. Inhale, exhale, just let it out with a big sigh. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale. Good. We'll come back to standing. We'll pause a little bit here. You can have your hands facing out to the sides. Take a moment, close your eyes. Relax your shoulders, your jaw. Reach up through the crown of your head. If you want to set an intention here, you're welcome to do so. Notice any sensations. I was going to say sensationings happening in and around your heart, in and around your body, in your house, in your community, in your country, in your world. Turn your attention inward, noticing, resting simply with the breath. Take this moment to quiet everything else, tuning into your rhythm. One more inhale. And on an exhale, we'll open our eyes. Take your feet a little bit wider. We're going to come into goddess pose. So toes point slightly out. Maybe stacking your knees over your ankles. Notice or feel your body upright. So you don't want to be leaning too much forward. See if you can stack your shoulders over your hips. Bring your hands down to your knees. We're going to spin it over to the right. So right toes are going to point off to the right. And then your left foot is going to also point off to the left, off to the right. Lift up your heel. You can have your hands at your heart or keep your hands on your legs. That's fine. We're going to come back through center, bend your knees, and then take it to the left. Lifting that back heel, that right heel now, bending your right knee. Come back through center, take it to the right, come back through center, take it to the left, come back through center, take it to the right, come back through center and to the left. Come back through center, straighten your legs, take your toes in now, heels out, hands on your hips. Slowly come into a wide leg forward fold. Allow your hands to simply rest below your shoulders. Crown of your head is heavy. And then lift to a flat back. Heel toe your feet in a little bit, not all the way, still wider than hip distance. We'll lower into yogi squat. Toes can be pointed off to the side, or if you can bring them in line so that your feet are more parallel to each other, totally up to you, your body. I'm going to turn this a little bit to see if it helps with the light. Better. Oh, maybe not. You could be sitting on a block here, or you can be hanging out here in yogi squat. You can have your hands down, your choice. We'll do a couple of cat-cow-like movements with our spine. So exhale, curl in, chin to chest. Inhale, lift it up, crown of your head reaches up, tailbone reaches down. Curl in, rounding through the spine. Inhale, lift it up. Curl in, lift it up. Curl in, and lift it up. You can place your hands on the ground. We're going to come forward into a tabletop position, stacking our wrists below our shoulders and our knees below our hips. We'll take a few cat-cows here. Inhale, fill your belly. Drop that belly down, lift your chin, lift your tailbone, and then exhale, rounding through the spine, tuck your chin. Inhale, fill your belly. And if you want to flatten out your feet here so that when you round up, pushing away from the mat, you can also lift your knees off the mat. Back and forth we go. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat, maybe adding that extra lift of your knees in cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to a neutral spine. Take your knees wide. Sit back towards your heels. Child's pose, you can have your hands reaching forward, or you can bring your hands back towards your heels. Forehead touching into the ground. Resting into the quiet here. Connecting to your breath. Come back up to tabletop. We're going to step our right foot outside our right hand. Bending your right knee, and then we're going to straighten our right leg, send your hips back. Bend your knee. Send it back. Bend your knee. Send your hips back. Bend your knee. Send your hips back. Come forward again. Lift your right hand to your inner right knee. Add a little gentle pressure. Right toes off the edge of the mat. Right knee going in the same direction as your toes. And then your upper torso and your head going the opposite direction. And then lower your right hand to the ground, step your right foot back, step your left foot forward, toes pointing off the edge of the mat. We're going to just go back and forth, straightening our left leg, bending the knee, coming forward, sending it back, and come forward again, send it back, come forward, send it back. We'll pause with our knee bent again, toes pointing off the edge, knee in line with your toes, left hand to your inner left thigh, knee area, up towards your knee. Little gentle pressure, pushing your knee away from your body, and your head and your torso go the opposite direction. Release your left hand to the ground. Step your left foot back. Lower your chin and chest down towards the ground. Roll forward onto your belly. Untuck your toes, pressing into the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift up into cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Lower. Lift. And lower. Send your hips up and back to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. First downward facing dog this morning. Take whatever movement you like here. Bending one knee and the other knee, or you can take your hips side to side, your choice. Notice what your body is wishing for, asking for, telling you. How is it speaking to you this morning? How are you speaking to your body? This is a great place to begin with your Ujjayi breathing. If that is a part of your practice, inhaling and exhaling through your nose, constricting the back of your throat to slow it down and warm it up. Finding that wave-like rhythm and texture and sound. We're going to walk our feet forward to meet our hands. Take your feet just a little bit wider than hip distance. We're going to cross our arms at the wrist or upper forearm, left under right. So right goes over left. Find your ankles with both hands if you can. Let the crown of your head be heavy. Feet are just wider than hip distance, maybe even a little wider than that. Not quite wide leg forward fold. You're gonna move your right elbow away from your body. Crown of your head is heavy. And then see if you can fit your head between your hands or your elbows. And then come back through center. Switch your grip so that the left elbow is in front. And then you're gonna lift your elbow away from your body, forward into space. Dropping your head between your elbows. Finding a twist here. And come back through center. Release your hands to the ground. Heel toe your feet hip distance apart. Lift halfway to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. And fold. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Bring your hands to your heart. Reach your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands touch down. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Right knee comes down. Heart reaches forward. Pausing here in a low lunge. And then we'll step our left foot back to tabletop. Lower down, knees, chin, chest. Roll forward onto your belly. Inhale, lift to cobra. Exhale, send it back. Back to tabletop to downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Step your right foot between your hands. Left foot steps forward to meet your right. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, knee comes down, heart reaches forward. And then we step our right foot back to tabletop, lower down, knees, chin, chest. Roll forward onto your belly, lift up into cobra. Exhale, lower. Send your hips up and back, tuck your toes. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Step your right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back. Knee comes down again. We'll lift our hands up this time, maybe to our knee or maybe our hands to our heart. Inhaling here. Exhale, twist to the left. Maybe hooking your right elbow outside your left knee. Find a twist here. Inhaling and exhaling. Unwind, hands come down, left foot goes back. Tabletop, knees, chin, chest. We lower onto our belly. Inhale, lift up into Bhujangasana, Cobra. Exhale, send it up and back. Make your way to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Left foot meets right, forward fold. Inhale, we rise. Hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back. Knee comes down. Hands to your knee, hands to your heart. We're going to twist to the right, maybe bringing your left elbow outside your right knee. Maybe working your hands to the center of your heart. Finding a twist here. If this is too much, you can always have your left hand down, twisting open. Unwind, hands come down to the ground. Send your right foot back. Lower down, knees, chin, chest. Roll forward onto your belly, untuck your toes. Lift up, Bhujangasana. Exhale, send it up and back. Make your way to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Right foot meets left. Inhale, you rise. Pull your hands to your heart. Bring your feet and your knees to touch. Bend your knees, lower your hips. Utkatasana, chair pose. Try not to have too much curvature in your spine here. Pull your navel in towards your spine. And then we're going to twist to the right. Maybe hooking your elbow outside your right leg, hands at your heart. If you're hooking that twist, lower your hips a little lower. Unwind into a forward fold. Crown of your head is heavy. Tailbone reaches up. And then bend your knees, lower your hips. We'll come back into chair pose. And we'll twist the other way. Twist to the left. Working your hands towards the middle of your chest. Maybe you lower your hips here. And release into a forward fold. Lift halfway to a flat back. We're going to step our feet back to plank, pausing in plank. Inhaling here, exhaling. Inhale, you're always welcome to come down to your forearms, come down to your belly, come down to your knees. Make this your own. And then we'll slow lower all the way down to our belly. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders up and back, cobra. Exhale. Send your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands. Left heel comes down. Inhale to warrior one. Right knee is bent. Left foot is at an angle, about 45 degrees. Hips roughly facing forward. You could have your hands reaching up. You could have your hands at your heart, hands on your hips. Your choice with your arms.
I didn't get that. Could you try?
Siri didn't get that. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten your right leg. Hop your left foot slightly in. We're going to come into pyramid pose. Reach forward with your heart as you hinge forward. You could keep your hands on your hips, find your elbows behind your back, or hands behind your back. Your choice. Bend your right knee, release your hands to the ground. We're gonna step our right foot back. Lower down, your choice. Modified chaturanga, full chaturanga, knees, chin, chest, your choice. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Step your left foot between your hands. Right heel comes down, set at an angle, hips facing forward. Bring your hands up to your heart or reaching up towards the sky. And then we're gonna straighten that left leg. Maybe hop that right foot in just ever so slightly. Hinge at the hips, coming into pyramid pose. You could have your hands on your hips, hands behind your back. Either finding your elbows or hands behind your back. You could also support yourself with your hands on your shin. Or if you've got a lot of room to fold here, you could have your hands on the ground. Bend your left knee. Step your left foot back. Lower down, your choice, your practice. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Connecting again to your breath here. Taking this moment to tune in. Let's lower our knees down to the ground. If you have blocks, set them up towards the front of the mat. We'll use them in our next series here. Come back to tabletop. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Make your way to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, lower your hips. Then we come to upright chair. Rise all the way up. Straightening your legs. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Lift halfway, flat back. Hands come down. Step both feet back. We'll meet in plank. Lower down, your choice. Full chaturanga, half modified chaturanga, or knees, chin, chest. We're gonna step our right foot through again. Left heel comes down, back to warrior one. Not gonna spend a lot of time in warrior one. Straighten your right leg. Hop your left foot in. Hands to your hips. Hinge at the hips. Back to pyramid pose. But have your block under your left shoulder, left hand to that block. Right hand to your sacrum. Put your right hand actually in the crease of your hip and pull slightly back on that crease of your right hip, and then bring your hand to your sacrum. You can stay right here, or you can add that twist, opening up to the right, stacking your shoulders. If you want to reach your right hand up to the sky, you can. If that block is too high, lower it down. Maybe your left hand comes all the way to the ground. Your choice, your practice. And then if your right hand is reaching up, lower it to the ground. Bend your right knee. We're going to windmill up to warrior two. Reverse your warrior. We'll take it into extended side angle, right elbow to right knee, left hand on your hip or over your ears. Straighten your right leg, coming into triangle pose. Maybe that right hand lowers to your shin or down to the ground. Stacking your shoulders again. Left hand reaching up to the sky, or maybe hand on your hip. Lower your left hand down to the ground. Walk your hands over to the left, long side of your mat. Grab a hold of your block. We'll take it to the back of the mat. Left toes point back. Bend that left knee. Right toes point in, so your toes are set up at an angle to come into warrior one. Not spending a lot of time here in warrior one, but straightening our left leg, hopping that right foot in ever so slightly, hinging at the hips, coming into pyramid pose again. Right hand on the block this time below your shoulder. Find the height that works for you. Or maybe you have your hand down on the ground. Left hand to that inner hip crease. Pull slightly back on that hip crease. Then bring your hand to your sacrum. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe you roll that left shoulder open. Maybe you reach your left hand up to the sky. Lower your left hand down towards the ground. Bend your left knee. Windmill your arms, opening up to warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Come into extended side angle, left elbow to your left knee. Right arm on your hip or extended long. Maybe opening your chest up towards the sky. Straighten that left leg, come into triangle pose. Lower that right hand down towards the ground. Walk your feet over to the long edge of your hands over the long edge of the mat. Bring those left toes in. Back to a wide leg forward fold. Crown of your head is heavy. Interlace your hands behind your back or take a different hand variation. Release your hands below your shoulders down to the ground. Bend your right knee, right toes point away. Walk your hands over to the right. You can stay low with your hands down, or you can fly your hands. If you're flying your hands, tilt slightly so that your left hand is lower than your right, maybe in line with your left leg. And then we're gonna come through center, your choice, hands down, walking over to the left, or cross your hands in the center. As you take it to the left, left toes point out. Keep your hands down or crossed, or fly your arms. We're gonna come back through center, take it to the right. Back through center, take it to the left. Back through center, to the right. Back through center, to the left. Lower your left hand down to the ground. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. Step your right foot back, knees come down. Send your hips back towards your heels, coming into child's pose. Come back up to tabletop. Step your right foot outside your right hand. We're gonna come back into lizard here, but we're gonna take a bigger twist. Left hand stays down, bring your right hand to your right inner thigh again. Stay here or bend that left knee, reach around you, grab for that foot, opening your chest up to the sky. Unwind. Left foot comes down, step your right foot back. We'll step our left foot forward outside our left hand, bending that left knee, and then bending your right knee, reaching around with your left hand for your right foot. Unwind. Step your left foot back, back to tabletop. Slide your right knee forward behind your right wrist. Work that right foot forward. We're gonna set up for pigeon pose here. Begin upright, looking up. And then we'll release it down, surrendering it down to the ground. Still in your sleeping pigeon, walk your hands towards off the right edge of your mat. So over to the right. And then we're going to walk our hands over to the left. If you'd like to take more of a twist here, slide your right elbow back towards the sole of your right foot. Maybe you hook your elbow in the sole of your right foot. Bring your hands together at your heart and twist over to the left. Come back through center. Slide your right knee back to tabletop. We'll take it to the other side. So left knee comes forward. Work your left foot forward, setting up for your pigeon. We'll begin upright, find a little bit of a back bend here before you lower down. Just easing in here, surrendering, letting go. And then we'll walk our hands over to the left here, off the left edge of your mat. And walk your hands over to the right. Same thing here. You can stay just reaching, or you can slide that left elbow back to the left sole of your foot and twist over to the right. And come back through center, hands come down, slide. No, let's not slide back. Let's swing our right leg around. Cross your right foot over your left knee. We'll come into our simple seated twist. Right hand behind you, left hand reaches up. Find your knee with your right elbow or your right arm and then twist to the right. Sit up nice and tall, lift a little higher. Find length here so that when you exhale, you can release further into your twist. Come back through center. Grab a hold of your right foot just with your hands. If you have a strap and you want to use a strap, you're welcome to, or else just use your hands. You don't have to straighten your leg here, but you can push your heel away from your body. Maybe lifting it up a little bit higher. Keep your left hand on your foot. Release your right hand up and behind you. All the twisting today, all the releasing, all the cleansing, all the detoxifying. Unwind. Set your right foot down. We'll take it to the other side. Right knee is bent, left foot crosses over. Find that left hand behind you, supporting you like a kickstand. Right elbow to your left knee. Look over your left shoulder as you reach up tall through the crown of your head. Inhale, exhale, twist. Unwind, grab a hold of your left foot with both hands. Push away with your heel. You don't have to straighten your leg here. Just reaching through your heel. Keep a hold of your right hand on your foot. Left hand reaches up and behind you. And release, unwind. Let's come into fire log pose. Right foot on the bottom, left foot stacked on top of your right knee. Both feet are flexed. Whew. My hips are tight today. Pushing into the soles of both feet. If it's really intense, bring that right heel in closer to your body. It'll take some of the edge off of it. But maybe as you breathe in to these spaces, these edges, maybe you find a little more space. You're going to take a little bit of a twist here. So walk your hands over to the right, twisting over to the right. And then walk your hands over to the left. Come back through center and we'll switch sides, left foot on the bottom. Stacking your right foot over your left knee. Flexing both feet. Same thing, if this is too intense, take that left foot in closer to your body. Otherwise, sit with the edge, sit with the tension, sit with the heat. Breathe into it. Maybe you find a little more space, a little more openness. And then we'll walk our hands over to the left. And we'll walk our hands over to the right. Come back through center. Let's take our legs into a V shape. Wide leg V. Toes pointing up to the sky, kneecaps pointing up to the sky. Maybe you walk your hands forward, come into your wide leg, forward fold. I miss having the grass here to anchor myself. Oh, I miss our outdoor yoga days. This is just not quite the same, but we make do, better than nothing. Come back to upright. Take your left heel in towards your body, bending that left knee, right leg is still out to the side. Set your right knee or your right elbow down on your right knee. Set your right hand down, reaching towards your right foot. You can bring your left hand to your hip and stay right here, or reach your left hand up and over, finding that side body stretch, but also a twist here. And release, we'll come back through center, switch it up. Right foot comes in, left foot goes out. Back to that V shape. Left elbow sits on your left knee. Set your left hand down towards your left foot. Right hand to your hip. Maybe you're just right here, twisting open to the sky. That's fine. Or maybe you reach your right hand up and stretch it over. If you're tipping over, that's great. I mean, tipping towards your foot. See if you can also twist open, chest up towards the sky, wherever you are in this fold, twist, side body stretch. Good. Come back up. Reach both feet forward, flexing your feet, hands down by your sides, staff pose. Deceptively simple. Find length up through the crown of your head, through your spine, and then start to walk your fingers forward, reaching forward with your heart and your chin. Knees can be bent here. Maybe you reach your hands to your feet, maybe you don't. No judgment. Find your forward fold, finding length every inhale in your spine and releasing a little more every exhale. Come back up to upright. Bring the soles of your feet together, heels in close to your body. Grab a hold of your feet. We're going to do a little bit of a side body stretch here in a second, but add a little gentle pressure to your inner thighs with your elbows. And then release your left hand. Maybe your right hand grabs a hold of your right ankle. We're going to reach our left hand up and over. And then we'll take it to the other side, reaching up and over. And come back through center. Bring the soles of your feet to the ground. Knees pointing up to the sky. We're going to come into modified boat. So you're going to keep your knees bent. Bring your hands to your heart, and then we're going to extend our hands out, interlace your hands. We're going to go side to side. Our knees go to the right, our hands go to the left, and then knees go to the left, hands go to the right. Side to side. Back and forth we go. Keep going. 2 more. Good. Set your feet down. We're going to lower ourselves down to our backs. Hands reaching back towards your feet. Hands or middle finger just touching your heels. We're going to set up for bridge pose here. Lift your hips. Walk your shoulder blades towards one another. Interlace your hands. Lift your hips a little higher. Relax your neck. Relax your forehead. Let's raspberry our lips a little bit here. So inhale and exhale. Let it go. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. What happens if you lift one leg? Does your hip drop? See if you can level out your hips with one leg lifted. And then set that foot down, take it to the other side. Keep your hips level. Set that foot down, release your hands, release your shoulder blades, lower your hips down towards the ground. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Windshield wiper your knees, side to side. Hug your knees into your chest. Take some circles with your knees, or just take it back and forth. This lately has been feeling really good on my lower back to kind of just press it into the ground as you move your legs around, getting a little lower back massage here. Find what feels good in your body, whatever surface you are on. And then take your knees a little bit wider. Soles of your feet up to the sky. Grab a hold of your big toes or the outer edge of your foot. Happy baby. Same thing here. Take whatever movement you like. Maybe rocking a little side to side. I wonder if I can slide over here. Let's take our sitting V balance pose. So straighten out your legs. You're on your backs. Legs are in a V shape. We're going to rock up and down our spine. See if we can make our way to a seated balance. You may have to bend your knees to get there. Rocking, and then make your way up. Extending your legs, holding your balance. If you lose it, if you rock back, come right back up. Ah! Keep holding, or if you lose it, come back up. And then hug your knees into your chest. Lower down. Lower your feet down to the ground. Bring your arms into a T shape. Cross your right leg over your left. Slide your hips slightly right. Let your knees fall to the left. A little bit more of a twisted belly twist than we usually do. You're welcome to go back to the good old belly twist if you prefer. This is feeling good to me today. All the twisting, all the releasing. I feel like I could stay in this pose for quite a while, but we'll come back to your center. Slide your hips back to center, and you can take them a little over to the left. We're going to cross that left knee over your right, and then let your knees drop to the right. Come back through center. Unwind your legs, level out your hips. Extend your legs down long. Let your feet flop open out to the sides. Bring your hands down. Resting alongside your body, palms facing up. As always, feel free to grab something to cover your eyes or another layer of clothing, a blanket. Get cozy, get comfortable. We will rest here in Shavasana. Once you are nice and settled, bring your attention to your breath, if only to release it. Release your Ujjayi breathing. Let your breath breathe you. Let the ground take your weight. Do a little scan of your body. Notice any sensations. Notice where you might still be holding on to any tension. Direct your attention to any of those spots. And with every exhale, release a little more. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. After all of the releasing and detoxifying and cleansing, creating space as we do in this yoga practice always, ask yourself, what are you going to create space for? And here is a little something from Melody Beatty about letting yourself play. How long has it been since you played? How long has it been since you played at your life, had fun with it? Our imaginations are so delightful when we're young. Watch a child sit in the middle of the floor and build castles with blocks. Watch a child play. Any object can be anything, and anything can be fun. Life can pound that out of us if we let it. Breathe life back into your imagination. Come back to life. Let yourself see dragons and clouds and leprechauns and trees and velvet in a rose. Imagine what it would be like to grab a handful of cloud, then touch the tree and put the rose to your cheek. Let your imagination come alive. Play the game of what if. What if anything could be anything? What if life could be fun? Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll over to one side. Make your way back to a seated position. Thank you, as always, for practicing with me today. Om Namaste. You guys are still on mute. Does that do it? No. Let's try that again. Cancel. No. I used to have a button where I could unmute you all, but it just seems like I don't have that anymore. So you have to unmute yourself, but no worries if not. Have a good one. Always good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.